guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all really well and staying safe. Today I thought we would kick things off and start getting a little bit Christmassy, and I have got just the thing to get us started. We are going to be making our own traditional wreath to go on either our front door or in and around our homes this Christmas. And let's face it, this Christmas is going to be extra special with everything that has been going on in 2020. I think it's important that we go all out and we just enjoy ourselves as much as possible. Well, that's what I plan on doing anyway. So I thought I'd put this video together showing you how I'm going to be putting my wreath together. I actually received this as an online wreath making workshop with Labelle Flowers in Norfolk. They very kindly put together a making kit instruction set, and I also watched a kind of Zoom call with them last night where they put it all together, so I've stored it all in my memory, and I also took some notes. So as I was saying before, my camera just took a tumble, which you wouldn't have seen. I am basically going to just relay everything that they said and put it over to you guys, and you can then make your wreath as well. So you can't see right now, but I am absolutely surrounded by foliage, all fresh foliage, and it smells absolutely amazing. So I thought I would just turn the camera around and show you all what it is that you are going to need to make your wreath. So here is everything that you are going to need to make your wreath. We have first of all got our ring over here. This is a metal ring. I know some people might use a wicker one, but this one will work just as well. And you then need some moss. This is fresh, everything is fresh, so it's still quite damp. But it all kind of clings together, and we're just going to use that to kind of to bulk out the metal wreath. So I've got 2 bags of that. We have then got some bits of a Christmas tree, which go together with the ivy and the holly over there. The holly's got some beautiful, lovely red berries on it. It's going to look so festive. So that's kind of all my base parts, which I will be securing with this twine here. There's quite a big amount, so that's really good. And then we've got some kind of we've got pretty bits basically. We've got the pine cones, we've got some dried oranges and some apples as well, and I think there's some cinnamon sticks in there too. I've also got some pampas to add to the wreath. Pampas is really popular at the moment, and I love pampas. I have it throughout the house, so I really wanted to have that on the door as well. And then I've also got some lovely ribbon too. Obviously you don't have to use everything that's here. You can kind of mix it up and do your own thing, but this is what I have got. And yeah, I just think the best thing for us to do now is to get started and put it all together. So as I was saying before, you need to get your moss and you need to put it onto your wreath, and you're going to secure it using this twine here. So I'm actually going to quickly knot this twine around the metal wreath just to secure it, as it needs to be nice and secure so it doesn't come off, because obviously if it comes off then everything will fall down, but it's unlikely that will happen. So I'm just going to do a double knot in that like so. Hopefully you can see, and then I'm going to start securing my moss. So I'm just going to get some big clumps of moss. It doesn't need to be neat or anything like that at all, and I am just going to start wrapping my twine like so around. Like this. And eventually make sure you pull quite tight, but eventually you will see that the moss begins to hold itself with the twine onto the wreath like so. So So I'm now just gonna do the rest and then I'll come back. Okay, so as you can see, I've now completely covered this wire framing with the moss, and I've now got this bit of twine which is a loop, and I'm just going to make this into my hanger. So you just pull it, let me see if I can do this, from either side like so, and then just put one side through the loop and just pull like that. So you've now got a nice hanger. And then the next step is to get your foliage and to begin placing this onto your wreath. So they said to get sort of one piece of Christmas tree and then a nice kind of sprig of ivy and then a piece of holly, and put these all together and place them on your wreath. And you want to do this in a kind of fishbone effect. So you want one going this way, one going that way, and kind of layer them around to make your wreath look more full. The more you kind of spray them out, the bigger your wreath is going to look. I hope that will make sense. Now, I don't think that I am actually going to use the holly in my base layer. I'm not sure if I want holly in it, so I'm going to use extra bits of Christmas tree and extra bits of ivy and just begin to layer this up, as I think they look quite nice. And then on the next step, I'm going to go and have a rummage in the garden and see if I can find a few sort of dried things from the summer and add those in. But yeah, I'm going to do all this and then I will show you how it is. So I have gone round the entire wreath and done one layer of the foliage, and it's looking wonderful. It's a little bit sparse in some places, like up here and over here. So I've got some ivy left over, and I'm just going to go round again and just tuck those in to give it a fuller look the whole way round. But I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. And then the next step is going to be to start adding the pretty bits. So I'll just go around it again, and then I will come back and we'll talk about the pretty bits that I'm going to use. And I also really need to clean up all this mess, so I'll probably do that as well in between, just to kind of have a clearer working bench. But yeah, it looks so good so far. I'm really impressed with myself because I don't do this kind of thing very often. So yeah, you know, I don't think you can go too wrong. Clearly. Yeah, let me know what you think so far down in the comments. So I have tidied up the workbench, and I think if I hold the camera up higher you can see the wreath is looking so nice. It looks so much better. Now I've tucked some extra bits in as well, and I've literally just used Christmas tree and ivy to create this because I just really like the colour tones. I like the purples and simple of the green. And then, like I said to you before, I've got some lovely pampas to put in here. and I went and had a bit of a scavenge to go with the pampas, and I'm going to pop in some faux eucalyptus, like bits and bobs, just tuck them in around. I've also got these little hydrangea, sort of dead hydrangea heads that I found in the garden, and I thought the colours of those would look so nice, and they're kind of red and green, so the Christmas colour will look good in there. Then I've gone against using the orange and the cinnamon just because they're a bit too bright for me. I kind of like quite neutral colours at Christmas. I'm not a red person, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to use these apple bits here and the pine cones. There we go. I've got some wire here. You can see this came with the little set, and you use the wire to attach the pine cones and the apple and probably the pampas as well, but you can kind of tuck things in as you go along. But yeah, I just think it's looking so good, and my next step is really going to be just to kind of lay things on it and see how I want it to look before committing to it, because I think that's the best route to go. So I will do that and then come back and show you what it looks like before we start applying everything into the wreath. So as you can see, I have now placed all of the pieces that I'm hoping to use on the wreath. My string is here at the top, so this is going to be the top. And what I've done is I've put in my pine cones, my apples, my hydrangeas, a bit of pampas, the faux eucalyptus, and just layered it all. I tried not to create too much of a pattern, but I wanted to make sure each like quarter of the wreath had similar elements, so there's a bit of symmetry to it, because I am a sucker for symmetry. But I think it works. I think it looks lovely. I think it's really wintry, but yeah, I just really like it. I love the way that it's all come together. I now just need to get my wires, and I just need to secure everything into place, but I'm super happy with that. And then the last thing will be just to add a pretty bow. So an easy way to add your wiring to your items is to kind of wrap it round. I'll just get one I can show you. So for example, these pine cones, you can't jab it into the bottom, so I'm just going to like wrap it around the pine cone like so, and then secure it by twisting the wire into place. And because you've got so much like foliage and moss, you will be able to kind of just jab it in, if that makes sense, in the nicest way. So you just jab this into your wreath. You have to push quite hard to get through the moss, and it should poke out the other side. I can feel it can. I don't want to move it because everything will fall off, but when it does, you can then fold that piece of wiring up, and it will just then secure your item into place. Now, some of these things like the eucalyptus, they've actually got wiring in their stalks, so I'm just going to push them down nice and deep into the wreath. And then the other one is the apple pieces. So I've done a selection of 1 or 2 pieces of apple, and I'm just going to actually pop a hole through on these ones, just pushing through what you want and how you want them to look. So mine are going to kind of look a little bit like this. And then I'm going to do the same as I did with the pine cones, and I've just wrapped it and secured it into place, and I'm just going to twist again it is easier said than done, to be honest. The wire is quite heavy duty, which is good. So I'm just going to twist, 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 and then you can just pop this through as well, and eventually you'll get through to the other side. And when you do, you can then just lock it into place by pulling it up at the back. Okay, so I've had a good tidy up and I have secured everything into place with the little bits of wire. Even the hydrangeas, I've popped a bit of wire in the bottom. I've also added my bow, which I turned inside out because I preferred the kind of like Hessian to the glitter, but the glitter's still poking at the bottom, which looks super cute. I went off center on it as I thought that looked nicer. But yeah, it's all done, and really the only thing now is for me to go and pop this on the door, which I will go and do and then show you. But I'm going to sign off here, and I'm going to say thank you so much for watching my video and for subscribing to my channel and everything else that you guys do. I really appreciate it. If you are new around here, I would really appreciate another click of that red button to subscribe. And yeah, I'm gonna be posting a lot more Christmas ideas. Actually, over there I've already started making my own, you can see next to the Poppy the Troll thing, making my own Christmas tags. I'm gonna be doing my own wrapping paper. I've also got some mince pies that Olivia and I are going to be doing together, and much, much more. So stay tuned, and until then, take care and bye-bye.